Hey, welcome back friends. So in previous video we have successfully fetched out the data of the orders. Now in this video we are going to edit the order. We have already edited the order. We are going to write code for update the order. You can see here the update order button. So here we need to write code for this update the order. So let's start. We need to write code in PHP. We need to write code lots of queries for update the stock, delete the records, and inserting the records. Okay, you can see here lots of data. You can see here the table invoice data, and you can see here the table invoice details table data. Okay, so here we have two tables data. So we can edit this data from this UI. Okay, and we can delete this data or row of the product, and now we can update the data from this update order button. So first we need to write code for that button. So let's start. Open our code editor, and we have edit order POS.php file, and here I have wrote some steps. According to these steps we will write the code. Okay, this is btn save order, but we need to change it. This is btn update order button. Let me check the spelling is right or wrong. Let's copy and Ctrl+F for find, and you can see here button update order. Okay, so name attribute of this button is btn update order. Okay, so now you can see here the steps. First of all, in the first step we need to get out the values from the text field and from arrays in variable. So we have already get out the values. You can see here in the variables and the array. Okay, and just before this button you can see here this variables. In this variable we have get out the values from the database. You can see here the column name of the database, but here we have the same variable dollar subtotal, and we are getting out the values from the text field. Okay, this is the name attribute of that text field for the subtotal. So we can do some changes here. Control, not the control, let press shift plus alter key, and I am selecting from mouse. Okay, by pressing shift plus alter key and by dragging from the mouse I can select multiple variables, and I can give here txt underscore. Okay, I have added this txt underscore for getting or for knowing in this variable we are getting the text field value. That's why we have given here txt underscore. Okay, but in the date case we are getting the date value from the method, so don't worry, we can use that. We can use this variable or from the database also, so don't worry for the date. And here we have the array values. Okay, array values variables. So let me copy this and copy and cut from here, and let me paste after the first step. Okay, so for the first step, get values from text fields and from array and variables. So you can see here we have the variables. In this variable we have get out the values from the text field, and we have get out the values of array in this variable. So first step is completed. Now the second step. In the second step we need to write query, write update query for tbl product for adding the stock. Here I can add for add stock. Okay, so which stock I am adding here? Let me write query first, then I will explain you. Okay, so our query is completed now, and what I have done here in the second step, let me show you the database, and here you can see here the quantity. Okay, and if I select the invoice ID 30, you can see here the quantity 5, 2 and 3, but in the database, if I go in table invoice details, and let's see the invoice ID 30, and here you can see the quantity QTY 5, 2 and 3. If I change here, let's give 20 and let's give 30. Okay, don't worry, but in that query we are getting this and we are adding this value, this QTY value 5, 2 and 3 in which table? In table product. Let me open in this new tab, and here you can see the stock for Dinosoap is the quantity is 5, and for example for the Dinosoap you can see here the stock is 972, and we are returning the quantity, we are adding the quantity, that quantity, this quantity, this 5. Okay, we are adding this 5 in the table product for the Dinosaur, and here the quantity will increase 972 plus 5. So 972 plus 5 is 977. Okay, so for all the three products, for the Kangaroo stapler and Lenovo charger, we are returning or we are adding this quantity from the database to 5, 2 and 3 for this 3 product, and we are adding that quantity in table product stock. Okay, the stock value. So we are returning the stock and we are maintaining the stock, or we are returning or we are adding the quantity of the stock in our main stock table, means table product. Okay, by using of this query. Okay, and after in the third step, let me write code here. Write a delete query for table invoice details table data where invoice ID is equal to $ID. So after returning the stock or adding the stock, we need to delete table invoice details. So let me write the query here for the delete. So our third step is completed now. Write delete query for table invoice underscore details table data where invoice ID is equal to $ID. This $ID we are getting from the get method. You can see above in the code. Okay, so simply here we are deleting all the data of table invoice underscore details where invoice ID is equal to $ID after updating the stock value on table product. Okay, and now in the fourth step we need to write query for update table invoice table data. Okay, for table invoice data we need to update, means we will write query for update this values for the subtotal, for the discount, and for the SGST and CGST total due and paid amount. So for updating this data, this site data and this portion data, we will write code in the fourth step. Okay, so we will continue from the next video. I hope you got this, what I have done here in this video, what I have done in this video. You can see here simple, we have just added the stock from the database in our table product. Okay, then we will write code for further steps. Okay, then I will again explain you what I have done in this edit order POS.php update order button. Okay, so don't be confused and don't worry. So see you in next video.